Hi, readers. So I was doing some thinking and I was wondering, do you remember the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Do you remember how in the story Goldilocks was testing lots of different things until she found out what was just right for her? Well, her story made me think of you and how, as second graders, you are figuring out your just right reading pace. Sometimes you try reading a book and you read it too fast. And then other times you try reading it and you read it too slowly. But then you listen to yourself and think, wait, I want to read this so it makes sense and sounds good out loud or in my head. And then you adjust and you read it just right. Just right reading isn't about speeding through or moseying around. It feels normal. You understand the book and you hear it clearly in your mind. It sounds like you're having a conversation with another person. So, today, what I'm going to teach you is that reading a story so it can be understood requires your intonation, your expression, and a just right reading pace. If you go too fast, your words all blur together. And if you go too slow, it's hard to make sense of the text. Readers learn to adjust their speed so it's just right. Now, think about a time when you read too slow. You probably had trouble remembering what happened in the story. And by the time you made it to the end, you couldn't remember what happened in the beginning of the story. And when that happens, that's a big problem. Now, remember a time when you read too fast. I bet you remember that you missed some important parts and that you didn't understand everything that you read. And that's a big problem too. Now, remember what we talked about earlier, that those scientists who study reading discovered that second grade is a really important time for reading growth. And that includes figuring out your just right reading pace. So I want you to watch me as I work towards discovering my just right reading pace. So I'm going to start right here. One night, Houndsley and Katina were sitting outside watching fireflies. How did I do? Hmm, I think I sounded too slow and choppy. I'm going to try again. I'm going to reread. And this time I'm going to try to push my eyes across the text. I would like you to read along with me, but in your head, and see if your reading voice can match mine. One night, Houndsley and Katina were sitting outside watching fireflies. How did I do? How did you do? I think it sounded much better. Let's keep going. So we're going to start right here. This one was one of their favorite things to do together. Whoa, that sounded way too fast. I don't even know what I just read. I think I need to go back, slow down just a little bit, scoop up maybe a few less words, and maybe even try to read with some expression. So, just like before, read along with me in your head and see if your reading voice sounds like mine. We're going to start right here. This was one of their favorite things to do together. Hmm, that sounded better, didn't it? Did you notice how, in both situations, I had to speed up and push my eyes across the page? And then I also had to slow down a little bit, scoop up less words, and read with the expression in order to find my just right reading pace. Now it's your turn to try. I'm going to go to the next page. And remember, as you're reading, it's helpful to think, hmm, how was my reading pace? Did I read in such a way that it sounded like I was talking or having a conversation with another person? As I read, was I able to understand what I just read? And if you couldn't do those things, remember to decide, do I need to slow down, scoop up less words, maybe put some expression in my voice, or do I need to speed up just a little bit and push my eyes across the page? So why don't you start here? Give it a try. Readers, I wonder if your just right pace or just right reading voice sounded just like mine. At last, Houndsley said, I did not need a new set of pots and pans. I only wanted to win the contest to show everyone I was the best cook. Hmm, maybe your pace was a little faster or a little slower. But wow, readers, with just a little practice today, thinking about your pace, you were able to adjust your reading speed. So remember, when you go off to read today, one thing you can keep in mind is that whenever you are reading, either out loud or in your head, make sure you understand what is happening and that your voice sounds just right. Thinking about and adjusting your pace will help you understand the text. Good luck finding your own just right reading pace today. And also remember all of the things that we've been working on to make our reading voices more fluent. So, we've also been working on matching your voice to the mood. We've worked on talking like the characters, scooping words into longer phrases, as well as rereading aloud in your head. So, whatever you choose to do today, enjoy, have fun,